During today's lecture, I want to briefly talk about how to have mental health and always keep a positive attitude towards life. So I summarized a few key points and I think will be very helpful for you. The first point is never have expectation in your life, which means that if you want to be happy, do not expect things to go in the same direction which you prefer it to go. However, most of us tend to predict things before it really happens. But we need to always know that reality is different with your ideal state. Reality is very different. Now, there are a lot of unfair things in this world. And you have to accept the world is not prepared for you, and you expect the things to go in this way, but a lot of times the things could go in the opposite way, and a lot of people could treat you unfairly, and then you have to accept this is the truth. For example, now you did an exam and you believe you did really well, you believe you really can have a high score, and then because in your mind, everything should be fair. Now, every examiner should be fair, and they should always do the right thing. That's what you always believe. Now, but it turned out that the examiner is very unfair. The examiner actually give you lower score intendedly. It's just because that single person, and then it came out that you had a low score, and then because the reality, the truth is very different from what you expect from your ideal world. So you become really frustrated and depressed, and you can't accept this outcome because it's so much different from what you thought. Then you suffer depression, then you become unhappy. So don't expect now. Because you have to admit this. Now, in this world, we have all different kind of people. We have all different kind of situations. Now, the environment is changing all the time, and there are a lot of unfair things. Not all the things that should be fair. Not all the things now are fair. So you need to admit there are bad things, there are bad people, there are unfair things. Okay, so if you expect too much, at the end, if the outcome is different from what you expect, you will have a huge gap. Yeah, huge gap. Then you will feel extremely down, extremely upset, and even some people even suicide if they have to face a significant unfair things happen in a life. So that's why try your best, but don't expect. What you can do is only to try. Pay all your effort, put all the effort onto something that you like, and then try the best. But then give the outcome to the God to decide, because God is going to finally help you to make decision, and you cannot control something which you have no ability to control. So don't worry about something which you cannot do, and only do the things which you can do, and try your best to work it out. Yeah, so that's the first important point. Secondly, always stand on the other's point. Now, and also have build up the empathy. Always stand on other's point. Always think from the other person's side. This means that now you need to, when something happens, when people treat you badly, or when people blame you and you feel really sad and you can't understand. And this time, now think about if you were the other person, what you would do. Yeah, because like everyone have their own difficulty, everyone have their own point of view. Okay. And you're not the other person, and if you don't consider from other people's side, you always only consider yourself. So you only consider your own benefits. Then then you cannot even like feel the way which other people feel. Then if other people have a different opinion with you and you feel very down and you can't accept because you are too, like say, too selfish and you only consider your own benefits. If other people don't meet your don't protect your benefits, you feel very down, feel very upset. So give up yourself, like say, forget about yourself and think about if you were the other person, would you be happy when you hear this? And and if you only protect your own benefits, think about you deprive other people's benefit. Will they be happy? And if you were them, will you accept or not? Like say, stand on others' point and put yourself in the other people's shoes. Then you feel that okay. Then you can feel like okay, you can accept because you don't only think about your own benefits. That's the second point. Now, thirdly, explore the underlying reason. Doesn't matter what things happen in your life. There could be something which you don't understand why these things turns out in this way. So you try to explore the reason for it. For example, now you meet some people. Now these people, they treat you unrespectful and they don't have any respect to you and they verbally abusive and they're very aggressive and they have very rude, they treat you rudely, they have very rude attitude towards you and you feel extremely angry. In this case, now think about, should you angry for that single person or should you think about what caused this person to behave like this? Think about the underlying cause. Say for example, now if you work as a nurse in a hospital and some patients, they verbally aggressive to you, they verbally abuse you. Now you have to think about, now because this patient is sick, so his mood is always down and he can't control his temper and he's not well. So the underlying reason for that aggressive behavior is the sickness of that person. Now we know that a lot of patients with dementia, now they are confused, they don't know what's happening around. So they could be rude to everyone, not only you. So don't always consider yourself. Don't always think, oh, you are rude to me because you just, because you target me. It's not like that. Some people, they always behave like that. There's some like certain reason. You need to think what caused this person to behave like this. So think about the underlying reason. And also, maybe this person is treat you rudely, maybe because he has like a poor personality, maybe because he was brought up in a very poor environment. He doesn't have a good life environment or social environment. So think about the other person's culture, the background, the history, and their environment they're staying in. Maybe all these other things, the social environment, the life environment, all the other things could make that person to behave like that. Not only himself. But don't blame a single person because every person is related to the social environment, related to society, related to a lot of other factors. So that's it. If you don't only consider about one single person, but if you consider the reason and you consider a lot of the other reasons which could form this person, and then you feel much relieved. You don't feel angry. You don't just feel angry with one certain thing. Next one is build up your empathy. Build up your empathy. You should always be empathetic towards people. Have some love. Again, if someone treats you badly, it's probably because this person just had a really sad thing happen in their life. That's why they could not have a good mood. That's why their mood is really down. That's why they treat you negatively. That's why they don't. Why this person doesn't have a smile? Because maybe this morning, maybe he just had argument with his family. Maybe he just lost jobs. Maybe he had some really unhappy things happen in his family or something. So that could be the reason why he treat you badly and why he's rude to you. Yeah, so a lot of other, think about the other reason and think about and always have some love in your heart. Always be empathetic towards people. Yeah, have empathy. If you have empathy, yeah, if you are very general, you know, if you are very general and if you always consider from other people's side and you always have love on people, now then you don't feel upset, then you don't feel angry easily. Yeah. The last point is be nice to people, but no need to tolerate the unfairness. You can accept there is unfairness in this world, but you don't need to tolerate it, which means that never easily give up your rights. Now, everyone have human rights. We have rights, yeah? If someone wants to breach our right, okay, we need to accept. Now, the unfairness exists in this world, but it doesn't mean we have to keep tolerating this. We don't need to tolerate, but instead of face-to-face argument, now we can take some like action to protect our rights instead of like directly argue with that person or someone who is unfair. But we have to take, like, for example, the legal action to protect our own rights. But we don't need to tolerate. Tolerate means that, even if it's unfair, even I know the examiner is unfair, even I know the examiner gives me very low score, which is unfair, and then I just tolerate it. You don't need to tolerate. You need to go to take action, to find the examiner and to discuss why you have this score. What's the reason? And if they don't give you the fairness, and then you can further raise the concern to the higher management team. For example, you can start to appeal to the higher manager of your college or the university, for example, and then to raise a concern and to go towards the formal steps, to help to protect your rights. So you always need to have your own principle. You have to have your bottom line. You have to show people that you're not a person easily to be bullied. You're not a person who can tolerate all the unfair things. However, you have to be happy yourself. You don't hold anger all inside your heart. You don't need to hold anger. You have to accept, this is something which is possible to happen, but I understand, I can accept. However, I don't need to tolerate this. I need to take the proper action, to protect my own rights. So you have your own bottom line, you have your own principle. Then if you don't have anger, you don't put all the anger inside your heart, then you'll feel much relieved and you will be more mentally happy. So that's like the main points that I want to share with you, and I hope you could get something from this lecture. Thank you very much.